On this episode, we take you on a journey through Tennessee and North Carolina into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park as we track down the elusive and legendary American black bear. Nature in your face! So here we are in the beautiful Smoky Mountains, and as you can see behind us, the scenery is incredible. It seems like everywhere you go, there's moving water.
Yeah, well, we're not out here fly fishing for trout. We're in search of one of the largest North American mammals, the American black bear.
Now, unlike the reptiles that we can pick up and we can bring close to you, these are wild bears. We cannot approach them legally. We can't even get within 50 yards of these bears. So you're not going to see us carrying a little black bear cub while it chews on our face.
The good news for us is black bears leave signs everywhere that their presence is all around us. So, it's time for us to go out and seek this giant teddy bear.
Snuggles!
More than 500,000 acres of pristine wilderness and 850 miles of hiking trails attracts millions of annual visitors to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Temperate forests, meadows, and a countless number of creeks, streams, and rivers provide ideal habitat for the nearly 400 species of mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians that live within the park. Most wildlife enthusiasts visit the park for one main reason: to catch a glimpse of the American black bear.
Jeremy, check it out.
What do you got?
Just found our first evidence that there's a bear in the area. These are claw marks. Look at these massive grooves in these trees.
Whoa.
Look at that. Look at these claws.
Yeah, let me get in there.
Those are worse than my toenails. Hey, and look up.
Oh, yeah.
Look up above you. We have what looks to be a bear den. Now, I think you should get up there and we can find out if that thing is an old den or if it's being used right now.
Oh, you want me to climb up there?
Yeah, climb up there. I'll film you. It'll be pretty cool. Come on.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Hey, how's it looking up there?
Oh, it's big and it's empty.
Yeah.
No one's home.
So you think it's abandoned?
Yeah, definitely. It seems way too rotted out to support any weight of the bears.
All right, when it was being used, I mean, does that look like a pretty cool place to sleep with cubs?
I could definitely see a black bear using this. It's completely hollowed out. Me and 3 other guys could shove ourselves in there. So a female black bear and some of her cubs that she's going to give birth to in January, they could definitely hang out inside of here. Now, there's no food in the refrigerator, and all the beds haven't been made in a long time, so they definitely are not active in this hole. But I mean, it's kind of unique that they come in here. Most black bears stay on the ground when they hibernate, but the ones in the Smoky Mountains, they're known to climb up into the hollows of trees and for protection and warmth.
All right, once again, we have more evidence of a black bear. Look at this stump here. These bears, they take those huge claws and they just dig and dig. They find these grubs and they eat them. You wouldn't think a huge 300-pound animal could fill its belly on grubs, but these things, they're persistent. They just keep eating and grazing all day long here. Now look at this. Look at all these bark chips. This is just shredded wood. And those bears pulling this apart. Underneath this bark, that's where you're going to find those big grubs right there. So, we have not yet found a bear, but we are getting close.
And look at this tree over here, Dave. They've pretty much destroyed this tree looking for those grubs.
Yeah, those bears, they'll stand up on their hind legs. They'll get up here like that. No pun intended. They give a little bear hug, and they pull apart these trees until they find that food.
Be careful of that thing.
Yeah,
Timber! Despite finding plenty of signs of bear activity all around us, we still hadn't found a black bear. We decided to move further up the mountains where we were told there had been several recent bear sightings.
All right, the moment of truth is upon us. We have finally encountered our first black bear. Now, we weren't having much luck at lower elevations, so we decided to come up to the Tennessee-North Carolina border where we heard there was more bear activity. Now, about 100 yards or so in front of us is what appears to be a young male. He's foraging, he's digging kind of on this log, looking for food. Now, we hope to eventually get a little bit closer to the bear so we can get some good footage so you guys can see how awesome this black bear is. We're a little excited right now. A little bit of luck and a lot of patience. We finally encountered our bear.
That's right. Now you might wonder why we're whispering. This bear right here,
is more wild than one accustomed to being around people. Since we're at higher elevations and we're off trail deep in the woods, we could easily spook this bear. Now you might think it's dangerous to get close to a wild bear, and it can be, but these guys, he's going to bolt as soon as he sees us. Now where the bears are used to being around people at the lower elevations, they get fed by people, which is a danger for them because, oh my goodness, we got to get you down there. I'm going to talk fast. But it attracts people. So this bear, not fed by humans, not being accustomed to them. We're going to move the camera in now. We're going to be out of the scene, but we're going to get some awesome footage.
Black bears typically go out of their way to avoid encounters with humans, and the majority of people that visit the park will leave without ever seeing one. We were really fortunate to have been able to admire this bear so closely, even though it eventually became well aware of our presence. As excited as we were to have found a black bear, we were left wanting more. We continued to trek through the rugged yet beautiful terrain in hopes of finding a mother bear with cubs. It was late August, and as the cold weather approached, many animals were actively searching for food. The bears would have to gorge themselves and rely on their fat store to make it through the winter. Just like you know you've eaten corn the night before, we knew by the presence of pits in the bear scat that we would likely find them in the cherry trees.
It was comical seeing the cubs eating and playfully moving through the treetops. And once their bellies were full, they quickly became lethargic and began to doze off.
The bears weren't the only ones exhausted, and it was time for us to wrap things up and head back home. Well, that wraps up our black bear adventure. We encourage you guys to get out to the Smoky Mountains. We know you won't regret it.
Unless you get mauled by a black bear.
Or you fall off a cliff.
So maybe you should just play it safe. Stay home, subscribe to our channel for more nature in your face.